And welcome back to another episode of Life in Prison. As always, my name is Zach. So, unfortunately, I spent 5 years of my life in maximum security prison. Since getting out, I've dedicated my life in helping others, so I got my medical degree, and I'm currently working in urgent care, helping others who unfortunately cannot help themselves. I speak of my time in prison along with getting out. I also do video interviews with inmates still locked up in prison, regardless if it's for murder, doing a life sentence, drugs, or thieving, stealing, just showing you a first-hand look what it's actually like living life in prison. You can shoot guns, you can sell dope, you can steal cars. It's all fun and games until you get caught. And this is exactly where it's going to end up. Trying to prevent those from going down the same path. So today what we're going to be talking about is prison segregation. Who against the what? Being in a maximum security prison my whole ride, I have definitely been around individuals where it's blacks and whites, right? But there's a fine line. Every prison is different because this is how I mean. Why is there segregation in prison, right? Why is there a fine line between Hispanic, black, white, Asian, all the races in between, Indians, it doesn't matter. Why is there? And I say this because like this. There's plenty of guys that I've seen that's in a white car, right? They would be a part of these, white groups, but they'd have black kids. Then I'd also see these black dudes who is kill whitey married to a white lady. I don't understand why it's just always been. Right? In 1964 is pretty much when the Aryan Brotherhood originated in prison, San Quentin, right? The Nazi lowriders was a little bit later than that. So what I'm trying to figure out is, in the slang term, peckerwood, right? Because a lot of Western prisons have things called woodpile. And what I mean is the term peckerwood, right, actually came from the 1800s, a slang term which the African Americans actually used for the whites, right? So why is it that we've kind of forced ourselves to be segregated in prison? It makes no sense to me because on the streets, right, a lot of times the Bloods and the Crips, they beef, right? Well, in prison, when you get in there, it doesn't matter if you're beefing on the streets. You guys are now together, more or less. Now, some prisons, they may not be forced to live and kind of band together. Some do. The Crips, the GDs, the BDs, anyone that ran under the 6 was over here. And then anyone that ran under the 5 was over here. They didn't have to force and join, become one. A lot of the prisons out West Coast kind of force inmates to do that. There's a lot of individuals that I watch here on YouTube, and they're part of the woodpile. And it's crazy because every prison is different, right? Being over here in Maryland, West Virginia, we don't have a woodpile. What we did have is we had white gangs, of course, but the white car that had absolutely no black people in it, right? Because there's gangs out there with white dudes, but there's also a mix of black dudes too. The only one I could say would probably be the Odnists. I never personally saw any black Odnists. Then we had the Nazi lowriders. We had a few of the Nazi lowriders. Other than that, there was no other white car that didn't have any other race in it. And I find that strange is if we're gonna pretty much force it, right? Because that's what we are doing. We are forcing segregation in prison. Because you don't see those dudes just saying, why are we doing this? This is dumb. Why don't we just say, fuck the COs and get at them instead of each other? Do you know what I'm saying? Because you're in there together. The COs are the ones that can leave. No, they don't want like that. You know why? Because having control over another individual is worth more time, and people like being in control of other individuals. You know what I'm saying? People like being manipulative, and people like being able to get what they want. So the only way that they're going to be able to get what they want is if they have control over other people. You should get behind me and we should do this stuff. That's the only way you can safely have someone behind you, right? Behind you. And it'd be reasonable. It'd be justified, right? A lot of prisons, if you've noticed, I'm not going to say they force you to, but if you want to live comfortably, you get what I'm saying, not be a target just because no one else is around you, right? You're forced to join. Why is that? If you sit back and think, it's really less like why? And I'm sure a lot of the dudes that are on the West Coast know of these individuals also that are in these white cars, but they have black family members. These black cars, and they are with white individuals, right? They have white people in their family. How does it make sense? Make it make sense. I hung out with everybody, but the organization that I'm a part of is predominantly white, and I got along with everybody. I know there's plenty of people that watch my videos that did time with me, along with me doing interviews with dudes that I was locked up with. I got along with everybody. I've talked to dudes a part of the Odinist groups. I've talked to dudes that's part of the Crips, the Bloods, DMI, and then some free runners, some dudes that aren't a part of anything. I'm gonna do my type of time in prison. I'm not going to do your time. I'm here doing my time, so I'm gonna do the type of time that I wanna do. It was a lot easier getting to know everybody around you. Do you get what I'm saying? It makes sense to know who the fuck is around you. So whenever you're sitting on a gang unit and you've got, 65, 70 dudes, right? And about 20 of them dudes are there for murder, right? You want to know who the fuck is around you. It makes sense. So having prisons that's forcing segregation, to me, it personally makes no sense because I don't know, I was just raised differently. Let me say that. Older, white, middle-class family. That's how I was raised. So just because someone was born and raised like this doesn't mean that they're not going to have this other type of mindset. I can safely say I'm technically the black sheep of the family. No one in my adopted family has ever been to prison. I can safely say that. So being the black sheep of the family, I definitely understand what it feels like, right? So whenever I got to prison, and the individuals that I was around and the individuals that I end up being close with around me, right? You get to start seeing through people. Once you start talking to individuals and really getting to know them, opposed to this mirage that's in front of you, right? Because you can look at somebody but not know them. You get what I'm saying? So like I said, once I start sitting down with these individuals that are opposed to any type of other race, but you get to know them, then you really get to realize and understand that I'm not going to say it's all a front, but it's politics. Well, if I was in prison, I would have did this if you was around, or I would have did this. Because you want to make sure that you got your own back, because you can't always depend on someone else. So for West Virginia maximum security, the white cars, like I said, were pretty much the Odinist dudes, and then we had the Nazi lowriders. Well, the Nazi lowriders, history-wise, all those types of organizations all started out west. You've got AB that started at San Quentin. You've got the Nazi lowriders that started at Preston Correctional Center. You know what I'm saying? This is 44 years ago. This is all California stuff. Then you've got the Bloods and you've got the Crips. The heart of a lot of these organizations and gangs is literally in California. Then they kind of branch out and kind of spread and weave their way all the way through all the prisons. Coming to a prison near you. If you're not affiliated, right? If you're not patched up and have a bunch of tattoos showing who you are and what you are, right? Then again, you also have to earn those tattoos too. You can't just put some patches on your body and expect to have not put the work in or know exactly what they actually mean. So whenever you show up to prison and you're fresh from boot camp, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have a representative pull you up. Hey, who are you? What are you? You know what I'm saying? Are you interested? Yeah, what's going on? Come over here. We got you. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. You stick with your own kind. It didn't matter though. At the end of the day, segregation, non-segregation, like I said, I respected all and I still respect all. It doesn't matter if you fly these colors or don't fly colors at all. I'm still going to respect you as a man until proven otherwise. I expect the same respect that I give you, vice versa. Pretty much how it goes with anywhere you may be. This was just a short video on prison segregation. The who against the why against the where, but really why. At the end of the day, why? Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button so you'll be first informed when I upload. As always, guys, I send my utmost love, loyalty, respect. Keep pushing positivity. I hope you come back for more. We gone.